The woman was fully aware that her fiancé had gone to a hotel with another woman on the eve of their wedding, yet she didn't get angry. Instead, she proactively called to comfort him, saying she understood that he must have been drunk and that the scheming woman was merely helping him back to the hotel to rest. Upon hearing this, the man sighed, thinking the woman was a fool. Little did he know, this was all part of her elaborate ruse. Her true goal was to ensure he would never recover from the downfall she had planned for him. After the call, the woman returned home alone. She instructed the butler at the door that she was going to rest and must not be disturbed by anyone. When the butler asked about her fiancé, she specifically emphasized that he, above all others, was not to be allowed in. With this, the woman took another step closer to her plan, while the clueless man was still pondering the meaning of her earlier phone call. To ensure the wedding would proceed without a hitch, he decided to leave the scheming woman behind and try to gauge the woman's true feelings. However, as soon as he arrived at her door, the butler stopped him. Furious, he declared that he was her fiancé, but the butler coldly rebuffed him. He tried calling her, only to find her phone turned off. Before leaving, he threatened to fire the butler after the wedding, unaware that the wedding itself was the grand surprise the woman had prepared for him. The reason behind her actions was that she was a reincarnated soul. In her previous life, she had suddenly been diagnosed with leukemia. Initially, she had hoped that her daughter could save her through a bone marrow match. However, when the nurse presented the paternity test results, she discovered that the girl wasn't her biological child. As her husband and the girl entered the hospital room, she confronted him, only for him to calmly explain that their real child had died at birth and the girl was actually his child with another woman. Overwhelmed with rage, she cursed him, saying he would face retribution. But her weakened body could barely support her as she struggled to put on her oxygen mask. The father and daughter stood by, mocking her. She vowed not to leave them a single penny and immediately called her secretary, only to find out that the secretary was her husband's mistress. She had been deceived by them all along. As she swore to haunt them even in death, the scheming woman snatched away her oxygen mask. She watched helplessly as the three of them walked away, her hatred reaching its peak. Perhaps out of divine mercy, when she silently vowed revenge, she opened her eyes and found herself reborn on the day before her wedding, trying on her wedding dress alone, seeing the familiar surroundings and the photos her friends sent of her husband and the scheming woman entering a hotel. She no longer naively believed, as she had in her past life, that her husband was merely drunk. To teach him a painful lesson, she proceeded with the wedding as planned. The man, who had overslept, rushed to the venue upon receiving the call, expecting her to be upset about his tardiness. He was surprised to find her magnanimous, even putting on a show of affection in front of everyone.